Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. In the studio this morning we have Bud Longstreth, who is the president and owner of Longstreth Construction. Bud, thanks for coming on the show.
Good morning.
Good
Thanks for having me.
And nice to meet you. Thanks for coming on out.
I appreciate that.
Now, I see your commercials on TV for Granite-Crete, but you do a lot of other stuff too, don't you?
Yes. I am a registered building contractor, and over the years my specialty has been custom interior woodworking for some of the more custom builders around town, home builders. And that was a great business, but when the economy hit bottom, new residential homes weren't being built like they were. So I looked to be more diversified. So my brother-in-law was a distributor of the Granite-Crete products in South Carolina. And while I was on vacation, I helped him on a couple of his jobs, and I got enthused over the product. I said there wasn't anything like that here in the Panama City area. So I went and got certified as an installer, hands-on training, and opened the business here locally as Granite-Crete by Longstreth Construction. And we are doing decorative concrete overlays on countertops, tabletops. Then Granite-Crete also has products used for flooring. We do interior and exterior flooring as an overlay. I've taken one job that the folks had some old 12 by 12 white ceramic tile on the kitchen floor that they hated. Could not keep it clean. I went in there and I applied our Granite-Crete product directly over the tile. And turned it into an 18-inch pattern and turned the pattern on a 45-degree angle from where they had it. Totally changed the look of the kitchen. We do pool decks, driveways, garage floors as well.
That whole kitchen thing really struck a chord with me. In my old house, we had that. And I was like, oh, I don't want to tear all this up and retile it and make a big mess. Who thought you could just pour right over it?
In some cases, we can apply over existing. I have gone over Formica, granite, corian. Some cases, we need to remove the countertops, build new countertops from scratch out of our wood substrate, and then coat it with the Granite-Crete.
So here you were a contractor. The building industry kind of,
we've seen better times.
Yeah, certainly. And then you stumble onto this, or luck into this whole Granite-Crete thing. What's been the response to that?
It was difficult at first bringing a new product into the market, but every year my business is growing. It's getting more and more receptive. And Granite-Crete is based out of Phoenix, Arizona, and they started as an alternative to granite. So I compare my product to granite and the advantages of what I have. The Granite-Crete countertops, when they're finished, they are seamless. There's no seams, regardless of the shape or size.
Yeah, because when you think concrete, you don't really think countertops. For the most part, you're thinking patios maybe, or
Well, this is not a thick, actually poured concrete. This is an overlay to put over top of. It has a two-part epoxy that we use as a top finish, which is rated as a scratch-resistant, heat-resistant finish. But most importantly, it's non-porous. It's compliant to the USDA and NSF as a food-safe surface.
Now, if somebody wanted to learn more about Granite-Crete, what do we do? Do you have a website? Or
I have a local website, www.granitecrete, that's Grannicrete, PanamaCity.com. It opens up, I have a 6-page website, Granite-Crete by Longstreth Construction. You can go on there and click on the countertop page, woodworking page, flooring page, and read all about it.
So besides being a contractor, though, you're involved with a lot of stuff in the community as well, aren't you?
I try to be.
Yeah, and I know you're a member of the Bay Builders, BBIA.
BBIA, Bay Building Industry Association.
Bay Building Industry Association.
Which formerly was the Home Builders Association of Panama City, Bay County.
Now, we've got to run off to the local weather, but on the other side of that, I want to talk a little bit more about the BBIA. And also, you guys have an event coming up, too.
We sure do.
An expo that I want to learn more about after your local weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Bud Longstreth from Longstreth Construction. You might know him from his commercials for Granite-Crete, which is a pretty awesome product. It's beautiful stuff. I've seen the commercials and all that stuff. We may have to talk after the show, too, by the way, because I have a new house that has a patio and all that stuff. But at any rate, you do more than just construction. You're involved with the Bay Building Industries Association.
Yes, exactly.
Formerly the Home Builders Association.
Right.
And what exactly is the BBIA? What do you do?
The BBIA, Bay Building Industry Association, was formerly known as the Home Builders Association of Panama City, Bay County. We're still associated with the Florida Home Builders and the National Home Builders. We changed the name several years ago to try to entice more businesses, construction related, instead of just quote home builders, to try to build the association up.
How you say home builder, it's kind of, you think guys who were, putting up houses, but there's all these second and third order of
exactly
trades that come into
the organization consists of builder members and associate members. We've got all different types of suppliers, bankers, real estate agents, any business that is kind of construction related, and members deal with members. We're trying to build our organization up, and I joined in 1987, and I've been on the board of directors since 1989. So it's been a great organization. I think
so
a lot of
it's almost like the old trade guilds,
exactly. It's tough to see some of the older folks retire, go out of business or whatever, but the organization's still there. We're building it up. We have a lot of special events that
and now you got this expo coming up soon.
The Great American Home Expo is in February 21st and 22nd, Saturday, Sunday, out at the Holly Center at FSU. I'm one of the committee members trying to put things together, and we're hoping for a large crowd. We're doing something different this year. The entry fee to come to the show is $5 for...
And just describe the show briefly. Is it sort of like a trade show where you go around and see what everybody does, and there's going to be trade displays?
We've got 50 booths available for members of the association to present their products and service to the general public. It's open to the public. We are offering a 20% discount for all military families, whether active or retired, to try to get more people into the show and to appreciate our military families. And we've got a lot of different things, door prizes and giveaways going at the show, but anybody that is interested in remodeling their home, building a new home, do-it-yourself fix-up projects, it's a perfect event to come out.
Well, I got to tell you, with me and my wife, when we were shopping for a house, we would, you'd see families in minivans driving through neighborhoods, looking at house in that parade of homes. I know that's a very popular event, and this is just sounds like it's just as interesting.
This is the 6th year that we've done it out here at the FSU campus. Beautiful facility. We've got there's actually 2 rooms that we're filling up with our products and displays, and it's been very successful. And we're looking to do it bigger and better every year.
So, Bud, when are the dates again for the
February
Expo?
21st and 22nd to Saturday, Sunday. Saturday will be open from 10 to 4, and Sunday is 11 to 3.
And all we need to do is show up there, right?
Exactly.
Bud Longstreth from Longstreth Construction, thank you so much for coming on the show and getting us smart on this expo.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with an old friend, Ed Nager, and a new friend, Brett Greenwell. Is that right? From Human Performance Consulting.
That's right.
Now, I've seen you in the news lately there, Ed. You're out there doing your thing. What does Human Performance Consulting do? I know we talked a little bit about resilience before.
Right, yeah. Our whole company is based around the resilience concept, and it might be a new concept for some people to understand, but resilience is bouncing back from stress. And that is what we believe is the core of a lot of problems in different demographics, but specifically lately, since you've seen me on the news, we've been training first responders, specifically the Bay County Sheriff's Office. We're under contract with them, and we train them every week in resilience training. And it's more than just physical. I know that the physical is the fun part about it, but it's physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual resilience.
Fun for some of us, maybe. I don't know. But your background as a SEAL has really qualified you for this, as well as your advanced degrees.
Right. It's I have a PhD in psychology and industrial organizational psychology. So IO psychology, for the people that are familiar with it, it's to go into industries to find what is important to those individual people and to the weaknesses, and try to make them stronger and more effective so that they can perform better and specifically be more happy at home, which is something that a lot of industries are, well, why should we have people be more happy at home and at work? But because happier people are more effective, and they tend to stay in the organization longer.
And that's something the military's known for a long time.
Right.
That's why you have so much emphasis on family readiness and all that other stuff. Now, Brett, how did you wind up working with such a hardcore guy like Ed here?
Well, I had the privilege of serving with him for a very short time. I was a trainee while I was in the Navy, and Ed took me under his wing and was prepping me for the Special Forces community. You know, I wanted to walk the same walk he did, and unfortunately, due to some medical issues, I didn't quite make it there. I wasn't able to go through,
but now you're an instructor with him as
correct.
well.
We established a really good relationship with each other. We had a lot of like-mindedness in our ideas for things, and I took over quite a bit of the physical side to help him take over the mental side, the emotional and the spiritual. And I've learned so much from him, and still learn so much from him on a daily basis. It helps me along with everybody else that we're able to help in the process.
You know, so Ed, when we talk about stress and given your military background, and both your military backgrounds, you know, it really is about the team in the final equation.
Right. It is about the team, and specifically, a lot of people don't realize it, but the emotional resilience is the one resilience that disseminates throughout the team.
Yeah.
And you know, you have to be physically, mentally, and spiritually, of course, you have to be ready, but the emotional resilience is one of the most important elements for a team setting.
And I know I used to almost think it cliche when I was in the Air Force. I used to talk about leadership all the time, but you know, leadership is so important to the mental state of the team.
Right.
And I think it's kind of underrated.
It is.
At least not in the service. It is. We got to run off to a break. But on the other side of that, I do want to talk about the work that you do, the importance of leadership, and who this resilience training is really for. Is it just for cops, or can housewives use it too? We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with the good people from Human Performance Consulting, Ed Nagier and Brett Greenwell. Is that right, Brett? All right, I got it. I didn't even have to look at my notes because
awesome.
I'm resilient.
That's
like
right.
that. You know, before the break, the tease was, who is resilience training for? I know you're training, you know, police officers and firefighters and maybe some military folks. How about your average housewife? Could she use a little resilience training, or the professional woman, or
everyone that's exposed to stress, which is basically everyone,
right, can
use resilience training.
Yeah.
Everyone, from firefighters all the way down to the average housewife, from the worker that's in the office. In fact, I'll go as far as to say is the worker that's going to work and spending 8 hours a day at work and coming home and then wondering whether or not they feel worthy enough to be there, or you know, the delta between where they want to be and where they are maybe is too great. I mean, they're exposed to stresses that are a lot of times even greater than the people that are on the front lines are exposed to. Because guess what? The people that are on the front lines, they're trained to do that job. But nobody trains you
to sit in your Dilbert cube for 8 hours and think about, man, I could be doing something else in my life. It's just stressful.
One of the most incredible stories that I heard, I was listening to the radio one time, and this guy who had been in Iraq, he'd been in combat, he came back and he was talking to the person on the radio, the interview on the radio, and he was having his house foreclosed. It was a couple of years back when we had all those issues with the housing market.
Sure.
And he said, the stress from me losing the house is just incredible. I just can't deal with it. And the interviewer said, well, you've been in combat and all this other stuff. How can this be stressful to you? And he said something that I keyed in on. He says, because I haven't been trained to deal with the losing of my house and telling my kids that I don't have a home, right?
How do you prepare for that?
Well,
I mean, really,
how do you prepare for that is to become resilient. Is to
become mentally tough.
That's right. You have to learn the tools and the skills to be able to deal with something that's unfathomable to you. And we all have those things happen to us, including the worker that's sitting behind the desk, or the average, I'm going to say average housewife.
There is no such thing as an average housewife.
Right?
I'm sorry,
So,
I take that back. Don't write me any letters.
What they consider, what a person considers, well, I don't need this training because I'm not jumping out of an airplane or locking out of a submarine. Well, that's actually the people that actually do need it.
But there's stress in everything you do, isn't that right, Brett?
Absolutely.
I mean, even walking into the studio today could be a little stressful.
Absolutely.
I mean,
well, and a lot of things,
for me at least, I don't know about you guys. But
I think a little bit can get misconstrued in the groups that we train, because we are going with some of the elite that are out there, but at the same time, we're not going through their physical training, we're not going through their tactical training to start, because that's not applicable to their stress at home. We're dealing with the things that they don't get training for, and that's the home life, the family unit, the finances, things along those lines, organizational skills, and that's where his skill has really come in.
Yeah, and getting resilient, or at least preparing for the unexpected. I mean, I know you train police officers. You know, who would expect people marching in the streets of New York saying, hey, let's kill a cop? I mean, who would even fathom that to happen? Right. So how do you mentally prepare police officers for that type of scenario?
Exactly.
I mean, it's so out of left field.
Right. Right.
So just like the guy who's losing his house unexpectedly, or you know, maybe he thinks he's a little less in his family's eyes because of that. You got to fortify yourself somehow.
Yeah, the key is to embrace the unexpected, like you said, and be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. To embrace discomfort, and that's a lot of the stuff that we teach. Is a basic concept of that, is to just embrace discomfort and be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
That's right, and learn how to prioritize and be able to segment yourself, I guess, from some things. You know, what you guys do is fabulous, and it's something I'm a believer in. Don't expect me to be out there at 5 o'clock in the morning training with you, but
why not?
I may sit in on one of your classes.
Come on.
We got to run off to a great break, but thanks so much for coming on the show, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Don.
We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I am here with Carol Cat Turner from Live 850, that handy little app that everybody, right, has to have on their phone if you want to be cool and if you want to know what's going on here in the 850 area code on the weekends. Great entertainment app.
Well, thank you.
And Jennifer Vigil is a genius.
Jennifer Vigil is an absolute genius.
What she invented this app,
what a blessing she is to our area. I mean, all of the other metro areas like Atlanta and when you go to Raleigh and all of that, they had this kind of technology. And when she was taking a break between major government assignments, you know, her usual stuff, and all the other things she does, she designed this application for our area. And it's such a resource, and we'd really like to encourage more people to use the application. So today I'd like to talk about what you want to do if you want to be a part of the Live 850 community.
Well, how do you do that? How do you get the app on your phone or your tablet?
First and foremost, it is absolutely free. On your tablet, you need to make sure that you're downloading the right software. You can go to the iPhone application store, or you can go to Google Play, look up your application. If you have problems, send us a message on Facebook, and we'll get that message to the developer. And you know, we want to know about this because this is a community application. So we would love input, you know, from folks that would like to be involved. We would love to have an intern. We'd love to develop an internship.
Because once you create this thing, you've got to feed it. You've got to keep it up to date.
And it's already getting that way. It's huge. But because it's free, what it does is it levels the playing field. You know, we have so many people, and oh, I do want to promote Stars and Guitars. The end of this month, January 30th, it's going to be at the Marina Civic Center.
Stars and Guitars.
Yeah, that's the big thing for the Children's Advocacy Center because we want to. Those tickets are going to sell out fast, and so if you want to be a part of that, you need to get tickets. But all of those types of events, and if your church is having an event, if your sports or athletic club, your sewing, you know, whatever is having an event, you can list them on here for free. All you do is go to the application and click in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see a button that says Contact Us. And all you have to do is click that button and fill in your information there. If you have any problems with the download, like I said, you can contact us through all free. So contact us through Facebook if you've got any questions or you have any problems getting or accessing the application, and we'll make sure that you have access to that. But I want to give a shout out to all of the great, let me see if I can just pull these up so I can show you how easy this is. I'm sorry, I'm making a mess.
Yeah,
all
TV,
you do is
gotta
click on, oops, yeah, let's drop everything.
All right.
Click on live music. And then, I know, we're gonna scroll down.
All right.
Till we get to whatever day you're looking for, and it will show you where all of your favorite bands are. I'm not picking a particular, but all of your favorite bands, where they're playing, the venues, and we want to really encourage people to go out and to listen to live music, and these great performers that are coming in, these professional performers, you know, they all had a hometown somewhere. You know, Jim Morrison was a film student at FSU once upon a time.
Oh, who knew that?
Yeah, so
you did apparently. I didn't. But,
absolutely, I do. And when I go out to these things, to Gulf Coast State College,
I heard Hank Williams actually played over in Lynn Haven at one point.
He did when he was like 17, and he was singing backup. He lived in a boarding house not too far from Roberts Hall.
Isn't that crazy?
So yeah. But we've got those same kind of kids, the new and upcoming kids, and we want everybody to get out and to support these venues.
What I really like about this app is that, you know, it relies on the users to keep it up to date. It relies on the sponsors, people who are having events. I mean, it really is a little community forum right there in the palm of your hand, because when you go to one of these events and you take a few pictures, through Instagram, you can link them, just hashtag Live850, and boop, and they pop up on the app, so you can see what actually is going on there.
I love watching what you're doing when you Instagram, you know, stuff out and about. I try to do that too.
So we only got a few seconds left. What's hot for this weekend? What's going on?
Well, for this weekend, there's just all kinds of stuff going on. They need to go to the app to find the specific stuff. We've just got all
kinds. Too much to go on here.
Well,
right?
Not just events, but I mean specifically, we've got theater, we've got Cafe Americana.
Yep.
Out at Camp St. Helen, they have that series.
I know we got stuff going on at the Kaleidoscope too. A new play
Yeah. So really, you need to check it out. And if you've got an event, make sure and upload it on the app, and y'all come find us. And if you got any problems, find us on Facebook, and we'll get you on.
Carol Cat Turner, we're going to have to make that the final word. Thanks a lot for getting us smart on Live 850, and we'll see you next time.